The world has seen cars. It has seen power. It has seen luxury. But once, just once, the world saw something else. Something that didn't fit into categories. Something that was not a car, not a machine, but a myth. Its name was the Mercedes-Maybach Exelero. The year was 2004. A German tire company named Fulda wanted to test their new ultra-high-performance tires. But how do you test something built for extremes? You need an extreme machine. A car so outrageous, so unstoppable, that only the bravest could dare to drive it. They turned to Mercedes. They turned to Maybach. They said, "Build us something that can break limits." And Maybach answered. What they created was not just a vehicle. It was a shadow. It was a beast. It was the Exelero. Imagine a dark hall. Curtains pulled. A crowd holding its breath. Then the lights crashed down, and there it stands. Its body stretched like a panther ready to strike. The front grille wide and hungry, chrome gleaming like the fangs of a predator. The headlights piercing like the glowing eyes of a hunter in the night. The silence in the room was not respect. It was fear. Nobody whispered. Nobody blinked. Because this wasn't just design. This was intimidation made real. But the story didn't stop with looks. Because under that endless hood lay a monster. A 5.9-liter twin-turbocharged V12. 690 horsepower. 1,020 newton-meters of torque. This car, weighing over 2.6 tons, could launch from 0 to 100 km/h in just 4.4 seconds. Its top speed? 3.1 km/h. Think about that. A limousine-sized coupe. Longer than most SUVs, faster than most Ferraris, quicker than most Lamborghinis. It didn't move. It attacked. When the Exelero roared, the ground shook. It wasn't an engine sound. It was thunder captured, tamed, and unleashed. And then, you step inside. The beast turns to beauty. The monster turns to majesty. Diamond-stitched leather wraps the seats like a king's robe. Alcantara walls embrace the cabin. Carbon fiber panels reflect dim light like the inside of a cathedral. This wasn't a cockpit. This wasn't a cabin. This was a throne room on wheels. Every switch, every dial, every line whispered the same truth. You are not sitting in a car. You are sitting in power itself, and here's the twist in the tale. Only one Exelero was ever made. One. Not for mass production. Not for sale in a showroom. Not for the world. It was for history. Collectors begged. Billionaires offered millions. Rappers like Jay-Z and Birdman immortalized it in their songs. Rumors spread. $8 million, maybe more. But the truth, it wasn't about money. It wasn't even about ownership. Because the Exelero was never built to be bought. It was built to be remembered. The Exelero became a symbol of madness. It symbolized ambition, the courage to build the impossible. It symbolized excess, luxury stitched to power. It symbolized dominance, the kind that doesn't ask for respect. It takes it. In a world of cars made for the masses, the Exelero was made for myths. It didn't care about practicality. It didn't care about fuel economy. It didn't care about competition. Because legends do not compete. They simply exist. The eternal legacy. Years passed. New cars arrived. Bugattis, Lamborghinis, electric hypercars. They chased numbers. They chased records. They fought for attention. But the Exelero? It stayed silent. It didn't chase anyone. It didn't need to. Because the Exelero was never about being the fastest or the most luxurious. It was about being untouchable. It was proof that sometimes humans can go insane just to create something unforgettable. The final word. The Mercedes-Maybach Exelero is not just one of one. It is one beyond one. A car that was never meant to fit into the present. A car that belongs to legends, to myths, to eternity. When you see it, you don't think of cars. You think of kings. You think of shadows. You think of thunder. The Exelero doesn't live in the garage. It lives in the imagination. It lives in stories told again and again. And long after the engines of the world fall silent, the Exelero will still roar, not on the streets, not on the tracks, but in history. Closing scene, narrator's voice. In a world where machines come and go, where names rise and fall, there will always remain one shadow, one roar, one legend. The Mercedes-Maybach Exelero, not a car, a story. This is the story of the Mercedes-Maybach Exelero, the birth of a dream. The year was 2004, Germany. The air was heavy with ambition. A tire company named Fulda wanted to prove something, that their new ultra-high-performance tires were not just rubber circles, but miracles of engineering. But how do you prove greatness? You don't do it with ads. You don't do it with promises. You do it with power. And so Fulda turned to Mercedes-Benz. They said, "Build us something the world cannot ignore. A machine strong enough, fast enough, wild enough to test our tires." Mercedes turned to Maybach, the house of ultimate luxury. And Maybach accepted the challenge. The order was not for a car. It was for a legend. The first appearance. When the Exelero was revealed, it wasn't just unveiled, it arrived. The curtains fell. Lights hit the black paint. And there it was, almost 6 meters long, standing like a giant shadow carved from obsidian. Its body stretched endlessly, curves flowing like liquid steel. The grille, enormous, chrome, wide like the mouth of a predator. The headlights, sharp and alive, eyes of a beast ready to hunt. The crowd froze. Nobody whispered. Nobody blinked. Because the Exelero didn't ask for attention. It demanded it. The roar of the beast. But beauty is only the beginning of this story. Under the hood lived a heart so powerful, it could awaken fear. A 5.9-liter twin turbocharge,